Herman Cain is leading the pack. There's a new poll by the Des Moines Register showing that Cain is earning 23% of the vote there in the state of Iowa, narrowly beating former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney by just a point. So the two are essentially in a dead heat. Margie Omero joins us now, Democratic pollster and president of Momentum Analysis. Adam Geller joins us, a GOP pollster and pollster for New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Good to see you both. Adam, let me start with you.
Yep.
If we dig a little bit deeper into the poll numbers, here's what we find. We find that Romney earns the support of just 10% of those who say they definitely plan to vote in the caucuses. Cain's is at 27%. And Cain also dominates Romney among those who identify themselves as very conservative, more than 3-1. What do you make of Cain's strength?
Well, Cain absolutely has strength. You know, when we look at Republican primary voters, you know, we think of high-value voters as being conservative, most likely to vote. A lot of energized Tea Party supporters in that group. So it is a definite problem for Romney that he is getting those who are less enthusiastic. He's doing well among seniors, but seniors this year are saying that they're not as encouraged as they normally are to caucus. Right. So Romney has a lot of work to do. Remember, he hasn't really gone all in Iowa yet. He's still hanging in there. But he's got a lot of work to do if he's going to kind of get that more energized support.
Margie, Politico put out a story that said congressional conservatives are now beginning to warm up to Mitt Romney. In fact, let me quote one part of it. We'll put it up here. The more Romney maintains his course with the environment shifting around him, Perry, Cain, and Bachmann all having taken turns as the anti-Romney candidate, the more he seems to be proving to political professionals that he can weather a grueling campaign against Barack Obama. Margie, you buy that?
Well, I just think having a few members of Congress come out and endorse Romney doesn't really change the fact that he's suffering from a real enthusiasm gap with Republicans. And if Republican primary voters aren't excited about their fields, then how can you expect swing voters in the general election to be excited? And I'm also not surprised that seniors are not enthusiastic about going to caucuses, given the Republican platform is essentially getting rid of Social Security, making it, leaving it up to the states, and ending Medicare as we know it. So I'm not surprised they're not enthusiastic about voting.
You know, Adam, Rick Perry was at the top of the national polls when he entered the race in August. He has seen his numbers really crater from 38% now down to just 6% in a recent poll. And in Iowa, he's at 7%.
Yep.
He does have a load of money. So how would you handicap the chances of Rick Perry reversing his fortunes?
Well, you know, money is always a good thing to have. Here's the problem. Multi-candidate primaries are not zero-sum games. By that I mean, just because Perry is going to ostensibly attack Romney, any votes that he could shake off of Romney don't necessarily go back to Perry. They can scatter to the other candidates. So in a multi-candidate race, it is very difficult to try and win votes by going negative. As much money as you have, it's a tough thing to do. In fact, in multi-candidate primaries, and Margie, I think, would agree with me, favorable ratings really correspond with ballot success. Right. So I might rethink that a little bit because I think Perry's going to have a real tough time. You know, he might be able to shake voters off of Romney. It doesn't necessarily benefit him.
Well, that has to be a record from, what, 38% to 6%. I mean, that's astonishing. Margie,
yeah.
What was striking, though, about the Iowa poll is that 71% say that business experience is more important than having held elective office. So if some of the voters out there come around to think that the president's policies, and he has no business experience, but his policies haven't helped the economy, which is the #1 issue, does that give, let's say, a Romney or Herman Cain a big advantage, given their business background?
Well, I wouldn't infer something from the fact that Republican primary voters are saying they prefer business experience when their preferred candidates currently are the two with business experience. And I don't think that translates to how swing voters are going to feel about the president's economic policies a year from now. I think those are all very... I think
really?
that what
Seems
you're
to me
seeing...
to be directly related.
Well, I think because people like Kane right now, they're saying, I want someone with business experience. And you're talking about Republican caucus goers in Iowa rather than general election swing voters who are going to make the difference. And they may or may not prefer business experience. I think when people are going to be looking at the election, they're going to look at who cares more about people like them. And that's going to be very clear whether Obama, no matter who the nominee is.
Well, Margie is right. Listen, they care about job creation, and the president has a deplorable record on job creation, on the economy. So it is true that swing voters ultimately are going to decide this thing, and that's why Barack Obama's job approval rating among independents are 31%, which is a terrible number. He won him by 52% in 08. He's 31% with him now.
Got to leave it at that. Adam Geller, Margie Omero, good to see you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Well, an airport